So we're going to be now posting and switching gears to armor, right? Yeah, armor. I started on it a couple weeks ago during the finishing of the Night Owls with Brian, and so I'll post a recap of that, and then we will continue on as this goes. Teach me how to putty. Teach me how to putty.
Stupid.
Don't call me stupid.
Okay, here you go.
Teach me how to putty. Teach me how to putty. Teach me how to putty.
Finger if you want, but just know that doesn't come off very easy.
Ooh, you got a red finger. Good morning, y'all. I think we're gonna finish the Night Owls today, so bear with us. And until then, Brian went to get donuts, and I got this to do. Sanding. Our friend Luke Yates, who you might know as Left Coast Avenger, calls his the Sandalorian. So we are also making a Sandalorian. For those of you that didn't see my post the other day, I will try to take you through this. We're going to try to take you through this build too, I guess. So, obvi, something gets printed on the printer. The part we didn't see in this, and I'll try to show it, was taking off all the little burrs and the supports and the stuff that were on the helmet before when it came off the printer. So I was sanding that the other day. You can still see like the inside has these little, Brian calls them zits. I don't know why. To me, they're like burrs. But anyway, these were on the outside too. So that was kind of the first thing, was to knock it down. And then the next step was to primer it. Brian put on a coat of primer, you can see. Okay, so then what I was doing yesterday after the primer was putting this stuff all over. Brian says to use gloves. I didn't have gloves that fit my hands very well, so I just used my finger, and it was fine. And I put it all over. And then today, so you can kind of see, you know, clumpiness. And then today I'm sanding it now with my sanding block, and I'm starting. Since I already started to sand it, but it's going to be a process. Okay, you guys, since Brian is still not back, I wanted to show you one more thing about this thing. This stuff here. It says, warning, cancer and reproductive harm potential. When I mentioned that to Brian, he said, whatever, everything has that on it. I'm going to mention to you guys, as much as Brian doesn't care about us, you should wear a mask probably, and gloves when utilizing something that has that warning on the label. So don't follow us, wear your safety gear. Okay, so there's my first round of sanding. And next step.
Come around. What is that? Okay, so Tori sanded all her red putty. And I'm gonna do another coat of primer. You could probably should just do more red putty right now, but or glazing putty, but I like to do a little bit of primer so you can kind of see where the imperfections are, what you want to deal with, what imperfections you're fine with, what imperfections you're not fine with, and go from there.
Okay, so now that we've got the coat of primer, we got to do, what are we doing?
More putty.
More putty. Here we go, back to the putty station. The sander. Okay, that's caught us up to today. All right, Brian. Brian put another coat of primer on because why?
Because there's a ton of lines on it.
And primer helps you see it better?
Yeah.
Okay, and now what do we do?
Sands.
You can see.
Heat it up.
See if we bring in the light, that helps.
Keep on sanding.
You can see how it's smoothing out though.
Keep sanding.
What are you working on? That's another secret project. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, so what we need to do here
We're just trying to clean all the excess primer and filler out of the cracks so we can bring out the details so they can be a little bit sharper.
You point out like what is good that doesn't need to be touched and what does need to be touched.
So we had so much filler to try to fill in some of the lines, but we're losing some of the detail, like the sharp edge on the mohawks and then in here. So we're just gonna like dig out some of that extra filler and primer to try to bring that edge out and then continue to sand it down.
And other than the lines, is there anything else then that we need to focus on?
No, I mean, there's some ringing up here still, which we'll get to as we paint. But for the most part, I think we're getting there. So the armor helmet is pretty beat up in general. So, but she does have crisp lines. So we just need to make sure we get in here and clean up all this extra filler that's built up.
Okay, so now that Brian did kind of the heavy lifting, I'm going to go through and sand and clean it up. And, you know, maybe I should post, Levi made these cool nifty little sanding tools. What are you doing?
Putting gloves back on.
We're about to get a pro tip of the day.
Little popsicle stick sanding tools, which is great for getting in sharp corners and cracks. So we're gonna make a bunch of those right now. Levi is going to help me. And all we're going to do is take spray glue. I thought Levi was helping me, not Chadley.
I'm weird.
Make sure this doesn't go all over. Clean the tip. Display the sticks. Trick to spray glues to let it sit for a minute.
How come you're not wearing gloves?
I don't know. Good question. I don't mind if my hands get all gross. So you're just gonna do this.
Okay.
And fold it over. These don't need to be perfect because you are going to use these and dispose of them. So go for it, Levi.
So another thing you need to have is your proper foot protection as you work. What did you just say?
I said, are you working or are you just filming?
Dude. I mean, I'm trying to sand and film showing how I'm using Levi's tool to sand, but I don't know how to do that without help. You know, I film you.
Oh, look who's here.
Oh, I get Levi.
What? Look at you. Look at you.
Are you stealing my protectors?
No.
Okay, can you film me? Just, it's already going. Just tool.
Okay.
Just the hands. Oh, shush. This is the way. What did you just say?
I said your way is not the way.
What is my way?
Not giving it enough elbow grease.
That's bullshit.
Primer.
Okay, so explain what you just did.
So we just sanded more. You can see more of the edge is brought out now since we dug out some of that filler. It needs to be cleaned out more sanding, but we're kind of done for the day. So, but you can see that edge is a lot sharper all the way around. Has more definition.
Oh yeah. This is the way.
The paint's probably going to fill in the rest of it.
This is the way.
This is the way to the trash can.